Hi there, my name is Tyler and I am a student success advisor with the Bissett Student Success Center, and I'm here to talk about the only document you'll ever need, helping you navigate the Dalhousie calendar. And I'm really excited that you can join me today, and hopefully after today's session, you'll feel a little more comfortable with the document and using it on your own. So a quick introduction to myself. I use pronouns he, him, and I'm a student success advisor. I did my original bachelor's degree at Dal. I did a Bachelor of Management, and then I did my Master's of Education in Counseling. I'm originally from Ontario. I'm a dancer, and I'm a baker as well. And I also want to take some time to recognize that Dalhousie is on Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people, and we are all treaty people. Also recognizing the legacies and communities of our African Nova Scotian folks who have been here for over 200 years. So today, hopefully by the end of it, we'll learn what the academic calendar is, why it's a useful tool, how you can actually access it, who can help you use it, when to use it, and then finally, I'll just give you a quick little overview of how to declare your major as that time is coming up soon. So the definition of the academic calendar is it lists all the courses and programs offered at Dal, subject by subject. As well, calendars include information on admission requirements, university regulations, degree requirements. So really, everything you need to know about Dal technically is somewhere in this document, and hopefully after today, you'll be able to navigate it a little bit better. So it really does house a lot of really, really important information. And so why it's useful? It contains all program information for any program at Dal. So if you're wondering what a degree in chemistry looks like, or what a major in French, all of those requirements can be found here. It helps you gather that information and understand your options so that when you're deciding on a major, what program you want to do, you've got all the facts. And a lot of degrees at Dal can be customizable. And so you can maybe do a double major or add a minor or a certificate. And so the calendar can show you all of those different options so you can really build a degree tailored towards yourself. So how to actually access and use it is really, it's all online. We used to, back in the day, print off these giant, thick paper copies, but now it's all online. The real thing I want to mention though, and we're going to actually go through the calendar, so we'll actually go onto the website and I'll walk you through it. But the real thing is you only want to navigate using the sidebar. Not all the center links go to the right spot where you think they might. So always navigate using the sidebar. That's the most user-friendly to use it. The only reason you're ever going to want to click on those links in the center is when you're hoping to find course descriptions. So the main thing is to always use the sidebar link, and think of using it as narrowing down your search. So you're going to start with the degree type, so undergraduate, graduate, medicine, and then the information type. So do you want rules and regulations? Do you want certificates? Do you want minors? And it kind of slowly goes down until you actually get to what you're looking for. And so some important terms before we kind of jump into going through the calendar. First is a major. And so majors aren't available for every program at Dal. So depending on what you're studying, not all of these might be options, but generally our center sees a lot of arts and science students. So a major is roughly about 10 to 14 courses in a single subject. And so if you're doing a major in biology, in your whole degree, generally around 14 of those courses, and you normally take 40 courses for a degree. So 14 of them are focused on biology. If you're doing a double major, let's say you want to do biology and French, generally for double majors, you do 10 in major 1 and 10 in major 2. So of your 40 classes, about 50% will be geared towards your major. So 10 in bio, 10 in French. Honors is a really great option. So there's two types of honors. There's concentrated honors, which means you're just doing one subject. It does mean more coursework. So generally honors, and it depends on the program, can have anywhere from 14 to maybe 18 courses. So it might be a little more work than a major, but the main part of it is you actually write something called an honors thesis. And so it's an opportunity for you to pair up with a current faculty member and do some research actually publish or write a thesis. And they're generally quite large papers, but if you're interested in research or academia, I highly recommend honors. It's not something you apply to until generally your third year. So if you're just kind of figuring out, well, I don't even know what I want to study yet, don't worry about honors for now, but just know that they're there. And then a combined honors is when you're doing 2 subjects. The tricky thing though is, let's say you're doing a combined honors in biology and French, your honors research paper will only be in 1 subject. So it's not like you have to write a research on biology that's written in French. Your honors is in bio, and then you'll take just all the courses in French for a double major. So that's what a combined honors is. A minor is just a smaller major. So generally there's 6 to 8 classes as opposed to 10 to 14. Certificate is even smaller. Generally, they're 3 to 4 classes, and certificates are less focused on departments. So your minors and honors and stuff are going to be in things like bio, French, philosophy, physics, whereas certificates are things in like art history and visual culture, or looking at like a bunch of different things. We can look at the certificates. They're not coming to me right now, but when we go through, you'll see that they're very, very specific. Credit hours is a term we use at Dal. So most courses at Dal are 3 credit hours. And so if it says you need 30 credit hours for a major, we generally just divide it by 3. So that gets you 10 courses. Faculty is the faculty where your program is housed. So that could be the Faculty of Science, the Faculty of Arts, the Faculty of Computer Science. And then departments live within faculties. So the Department of Biology lives in the Faculty of Science. The Department of French lives in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. And so those are just some general terms just to kind of get you familiar with some of the language we're going to be talking about today. But there are some important terms on our website with definitions. And so you can always go to those if you need a little more help, or you can book an appointment with an advisor and we'd be happy to clear up any of those. It's almost like you have to learn a new language. So before we get into who can help you lose this tool, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm actually going to take us on a tour through the Dal website so we can really have a look at what to expect. So we're just going to go to dal.ca, just as you normally would. Here we go. And so on dal.ca, on the homepage, there's all these buttons up here. I always recommend that students click on the Current Student button. This Current Students button lists all of the supports that we offer at Dalhousie. And so whether you're looking for the International Center, multi-faith services, security, studying for success, the Writing Center, they're all on here. And so if you feel like you need some extra support, definitely check out this website. But we're going to go to the academic calendar today. So we'll click on the link, and this gives it here. Now there's these links in the center that are like, ooh, I want to click on those. Don't do it. We're going to go over here to the side menu. And so always use the side menu. So most of the folks probably tuning in are in undergraduate. So we're going to head to undergraduate. There's a statement of the aims of Dalhousie Undergraduate. So this is similar to like our vision and mission. We've got all the important academic dates. So if you're wondering, well, when's the last day to add a class? When's the last day to drop a class? All that information is here. Some general information about the university. Admission requirements. So if you're thinking of applying to another program, admission requirements is where you're going to find that. University regulations. So some of the things in here, if we just navigate to that, are things like recession of acceptance into a program, scheduling exams, student work, accommodation policies, academic dishonesty, hazing policies. So all of those kind of big regulations can be found under there. And if you just click on undergraduate here, it'll bring us back to the main menu. Academic regulations, more talk about things like academic dismissal, GPA, how many courses you're allowed to take a semester, that sort of thing. So they're more academic in nature, whereas the university regulations are about being a citizen of Dalhousie University. Minors is the first one. And so if you're interested in a minor, here you go. The main thing you want to check though are minors eligible for your program? A minor can be added to many 120 credit hour degree programs, including Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Community Design, Bachelor of Computer Science, Applied Computer Science, Management, Music, Science, and Agriculture and Medical Science. If your program's not on there, so folks in kinesiology, nursing, engineering, Unfortunately, minors are not available for you, but if you're in any of those other programs, here's a list of all of them here. And so let's just look at a minor in English just for fun. We'll have a look. So you click on it, and here's the rules here. So the minor's available to those students. And it says you must complete between 18 and 27 credit hours in English at or above at the 2000 level. So 18 credit hours, if we divide it by 3, that's about 6 classes. And at least 3 credit hours, or one of those 6 classes, must be at the 3000 level or above. And so as long as your course starts with ENGL and it's 2000 or higher, it counts towards your minor. So when folks are planning out a minor, they're like, oh, what courses do I have to take? Is there any specific ones? Well, the minor in English doesn't require that. If we scroll down to something like the minor in business, you might notice some classes are more particular. So required courses to be completed before you take the second year courses, you need COM 1010 and COM 1101. And then to complete the minor, you have to choose 18 credit hours from this specific list. And so some minors are really open, some are more specific, but this will give you an idea of what's allowed. And remember I said you can click on links for course descriptions. So you're like, I wonder what financial institutions is about. If you click on this link, it's going to open the course description so you can read a little about it, but also you can look if there's prerequisites. So if I know I want to do the minor in business and I really want to take financial institutions, well, then I'm going to need to take 2202 and 2203. So if we go back to the calendar, 2202 and 2203 are both on the list. So you want to make sure you would do those first as part of your minor. And again, we've got advisors to help you plan all of this out. So you don't need to know everything right off the bat, but I just want to give you an overview of how to sort of use the calendar. So we're going to go back to the undergraduate page. And now let's have a look at certificates. And so I blanked when I was trying to think of some before. So animal behavior, art history, and visual culture, the only one I remembered. Computing in the arts and social science, dance and movement, environmental impact assessment, heritage studies, indigenous studies, managing data and information. And so these are really specific. So let's just look at managing data. So this will provide students with a broader aspect. You always want to read the top paragraph to see if there's any restrictions, but it looks like anyone can take it. And these are the required courses you'd need. So there are 9 credit hours of required courses, but it does say students will be required to complete management 1301 and 1302. And you have to have a B- for all courses. And so that's what you would need for that certificate. If we look at a certificate in, let's have a look at, let's look at Indigenous studies. So this one, same thing. So the certificate is a 9 credit hour studies. It's open to students in all faculties. And there's 2 core classes and then 1 of an elective. So you have to take Canadian 2050, Canadian 2052, plus 1 of the following outcomes. So it's pretty straightforward what you would need. And this one is great because it actually gives you some learning outcomes. So it gives you a little more information. Each page is done by the certificate coordinator. So there's sometimes they look a little bit different, but just make sure you read through it all. And that's going to really help you understand what is required. So we'll go back to the undergraduate homepage again. So we've looked at certificate. These next bits you probably won't use as much. So this talks about our CoOp system. Now, CoOp is fairly complicated and all the CoOp programs have CoOp advisors. So if you're interested in CoOp, rather than reading through all of this, I recommend you just meet with one of your CoOp advisors. College of Continuing Education is generally students take courses there if they are already have graduated or they're upgrading, but most courses from continuing education don't count towards a bachelor's degree, and so you probably won't look there. And then the rest of them talk about the different faculties. And so if you'll notice when you're looking through this list, so there's centers and institutions. So this talks about all the different centers on campus, the different resources, a breakdown of fees, financial aid, and awards. But you'll notice there's no button that says major or double major or combined honors. And you're like, well, Tyler, you said at the beginning that we would learn about those. Those live within the faculties. And so if you want to know about a biology major, first we have to go to the Faculty of Science, because that's where biology lives. And then we scroll down and here we get to biology. You have to make another choice. Do you want to learn about concentrated honors, combined honors, major, double major, or minor? And so let's just look at the major. I generally recommend for like if you're going into your second year or you're just kind of figuring out your minors and majors and stuff, it's always good to look at just the general major because that's going to give you the broadest amount of courses. So if we click on that, we'll scroll down, and I like to go right to course requirements. So you need to take Bio 1010 or 1020, Bio 1011 or 1021, Math 1060 or DISP, an additional 3 credit hours in math, Chem 1011, Chem 1012. So those are all the first year requirements. Here's a list of all the second year requirements. Pretty straightforward. Once you take all 6 of those, you can check those off. And then at the 3,000, 4,000 level, it's a minimum of 24 credit hours. So if we divide that by 3, that's looking for those, that would be looking at 8 courses. And 3 of those credit hours or 1 class has to be at the 4,000 level. And so that's what you're looking for a bio major. And so if you're like, well, these courses sound interesting, but what are these? I recommend for that, you go to dal.ca /timetable. And then you would go to the timetable, you would look under biology, and then go to those 3,000 level classes. So they're all in numerical order, and you would start reading through these. And basically you need to take 8 classes. So of all of these 3,000 classes, there's quite a lot. Can you find 8 that you're excited about? And if you can't, that might be a good indication that it might not be the right major for you. Maybe you do it as a minor. But that's sort of how the calendar works in that respect. Let's check out arts, for instance. So we were using bio and French. So let's just go back to French. So French lives in the Faculty of Arts and Social Science. It also lives in the Department of French. And again, same thing. It's good just to look at the major. So if you look at the major in French, so you need either 2045 or a combination of these two, 2201, 2202, and then at the 3,000 level, 3045, and then 12 credit hours. So 12 credit hours, 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we'd be looking at 4 3,000 level French classes, and then you need these 4,000 classes, and again, 6 credit hours at the 4,000, so that's 2 classes. And again, you would go to the timetable, look at the French department, and see if there's some 3,000 level French courses that excite you. And that's really how most of the stuff with the calendar works. Now, again, your job is not to plan your own degree. It's not to understand this document and everything, but it's really handy to know where that is because a lot of quick questions can be answered just by looking it up. And sometimes advisors get really booked up and it might not be easy to get a quick appointment. But if you just want to know what classes you need to take in French for at your 3,000 level, here they are. French 3045, and then 12 more credit hours. And that's your answer, right? But advisors, this does not replace advising by any means. It's just a tool for you to do a little more research on your own. If you're kind of unsure of, well, what does a Bachelor of Science in Biology look like? What does this look like? What does that look like? You can look it up all here. And so I want to talk a little bit about who can help you use this technology. And so I alluded to it already a little bit, but the first people are us. So if you're a first or second year arts and science student, the Bissett Student Success Center is definitely here to help you. Department advisors are great for arts and science upper year students. So within the biology department and the French department, they actually have department advisors. And so if you're in your 3rd or 4th year and you're really just trying to put the finishing touches, your department advisor is going to be really useful. And if you're not in arts or science, you actually have your own faculty advisors. So the Faculty of Management, Faculty of computer science, engineering, etc. There are people that work specifically in that faculty. And all of those folks are there to help you use this tool. So again, you're not supposed to use it on your own, but it just gives you a little bit more information so you can plan it out. One of the reasons I can kind of advise students in like 50 different programs is because I know how to read the calendar. And I can tell students, oh, well, this is what you need for a French degree, or this is what you need for a bio degree. And, you know, I don't have everything memorized, but I look it up. And so we all have the same access to information, but advisors obviously have the training and experience to help you navigate it. And so don't feel like you need to do it on your own, but if you did want to do some research, there's lots of great information out there. And so when should you use this? Anytime you're degree planning. So if you're looking at what courses you need to take, if you're thinking about changing a program, those are the two most common reasons to use it. If you're curious about dates, so like I said, those add drop dates, you can look them up on the calendar. Or if you're facing some challenges with academic regulation. So if you do get put up for academic integrity and you're not really sure what that means, there's some information on the calendar about it, or, you know, anything like that. So those are the main times you're going to use this tool, but make sure you reach out if you need any help. And just to finish off our presentation, I want to just show you how to quickly declare your major, because some folks might not know how to do that. And so we're going to go back to the Dalhousie homepage. Just going to open that up again here. Perfect. So we've got the Dal homepage open. We're going to go to Dal Online, and you're going to log in with your NetID and your password. And you probably won't have as many things because you don't work at Dal, but you're going to go to Web for Students. Under Student Records, all the way at the bottom, declare your major minor certificate. And so you'll request an update. And now it's going to have all your information. Like I said, I did my Bachelor of Management, but it'll have your information in here. And there's a lot of boxes to fill out. You do not need to fill out all the boxes. So if you just want to do one major and that's it, you would choose your major from the list here. So mine was management, but let's say I want to do something else. But I don't want to do a minor. I don't want to do a certificate. And then the second thing is you just want to change your program. If you're doing a 4-year degree, which is the most common degree, that's 120 credit hours, or there's also 90 credit hours. Now, if you're not sure which path is better for you, definitely reach out to your advisors and they can talk to you about the difference. But if you're doing a major, majors can only exist with a 120 credit hour degree. If you wanted a double major, you would choose your second major here. Oh, I don't want a double major in chemistry and chemistry. Creative writing, sure. If you wanted to add a minor, you can add up to 3 minors. And you can add up to 4 certificates. The last one is if you're in co-op, you would choose yes or no. But really the 2 main things you need is either a major or a minor, one or the other. You can have as many. And you always want to make sure you indicate your program. And when you're done, you hit submit declaration. Now, I'm not going to do that because I'm not a current student and I'll get all sorts of error messages. And the registrar's office might call me and say, why are you trying to declare a major when you graduated 10 years ago? But this is how you declare your major. And so a lot of people ask when to declare a major. There's no right or wrong time, but as soon as you know what you want to do, declare your major. You can change it as many times as you want. There's no limit on that. And so by declaring the major, it just allows you to, you know, when you're meeting with an advisor, they can pull up your record and see, oh, they're in this major, and they can run your degree audit. And so we definitely recommend declaring your major as soon as you know, but don't feel like it's written in stone or you can't change afterwards. There's lots of flexibility. So just reach out to your advisors and we can definitely help you go through all of that. And so I know that was a lot of information in a very short period of time, but I hope that gave you a good understanding of the academic calendar, how to use it, why it's important. And when in doubt, always reach out to your advisor. Arts and science folks in 1st and 2nd year, come to the BISSET. 3rd and 4th year, definitely check in with your faculty advisors. And if you're in another program, go check with those people too. Lots of folks to help you on campus. And I hope this was useful. And I hope you all have a very great day. And thanks for tuning in. Take care. Bye now.